Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I'm Paula from Moxy Mojo, and this is day 26 of Dephemerember 2023, your ephemera inspiration for December. Thank you for joining me for today's prompts. Feel free to craft along, or sit back and enjoy watching my take on the prompts from Louisa and Barbara. I struggled with this one at first. I had no idea what to do for forgotten snacks. It could have been anything. No idea whatsoever. Then a couple of weeks ago I was doing my grocery order online and I spotted something. So I bought a couple of packs and I've kept the packets. Serious popcorn. These are New Zealand, made in New Zealand popcorn, flavoured popcorn. So I tried the dark chocolate drizzle and the sweet and salty. And let me just say that I remembered how much I loved popcorn. I haven't had popcorn for ages. Ages and ages. And this turned me back onto popcorn. So I will be having more popcorn again in my future. But anyway, this is the inspiration for my forgotten snacks. I thought about using the packs to create something, but just couldn't seem to get my head around what I wanted to do. And I wanted to try and be a lot more paper-based this time, instead of off the page, weird, wild, out there, as I know I have tended to be. So I tried to create something digitally. Now, I have created something, but it's not right. And I'll explain what's not right. I love this. This is the envelope from the envelope and pocket templates from the Graphics Theory Premium membership site. It is the 4 1/8 inch by 5 7/8 open pocket, but I've shrunk it down to 3 5/8 inches by 5 1/8. I have used to colour it some pages by Rita from the coffee shop blog for the Graphics Theory, and this was for her Vintage Circus journal page tutorial. And I've used the starburst paper and the stained parchment vintage papery that Rita had used in her tutorial. So that's given me the look that I wanted, but I just couldn't get the shape. And unfortunately, I just ran out of time in order to design it the way that I wanted. But that got me to thinking, how often do we have that situation where maybe we have some existing pockets or templates, maybe it's even a pre-made pocket that you've got from a printable, that you like the look of it but it's not quite the right shape. So I'm going to see if I can recut this to the shape that I want. I guess we'll find out. Now, along with my pocket, I also made some journal cards to go in here. Now, unfortunately, these have ended up way too small. So I've gone and pre-cut another sheet here. And as you can see, as soon as I put the journal card in there, it disappears completely. If it sinks down to the bottom of the pocket, you're going to miss the popcorn. And I wanted this kind of sitting out the top like this. So it's a good probably 2 inches too tall. It's also way too wide. So in my designing, I needed to stretch this and make it bigger. And I think it was when I copied it from the separate sheet when I've created it, and I was trying to make the most of the space that I had on the sheet, and I put it this way, like portrait, and I should have done it this way, landscape. But we live and we learn, and I will keep going with it and maybe try and modify it and get it to the right size. But I have to say, I absolutely love my popcorn that I designed. And I did this from scratch, admittedly following some pictures, but I designed this myself. No templates, no copying or using pages and PNGs and all that kind of stuff. I drew this with my digital pen, and I am stoked with the way they look. So I now know how to draw popcorn, and it looks pretty cool. But it's too small. Never mind. I also designed the sign for the front of my popcorn container, which on this size probably would look pretty cool on my pocket, but I'm not sure if it's going to be big enough for on here. I may need to fit my popcorn container to the size of my sign, but I'm really pleased with it because I got the popcorn to curve. Small wins, people, small wins. So it's not a freebie, unfortunately, though maybe someday it might be. But it's more about, can we use an existing template and modify it to get what we want. So let's give it a go. The first thing I'm deciding what to do is, do I just trim this one up right from the word go? And I think I might do that so that then I can trim the sides as needed, because it's supposed to be just fold in there, and that's going to give me like a rectangle, and I want it in a coney type shape, if that makes sense. You know, a cone with the point cut off. So let's see if we can do it. Why not? What have we got to lose? Right, somewhere is a pencil. Right, we'll move our wonderful popcorn over the side. And what we're going to do is, I want to mark on here. Let's just, and no measuring. It's been a long day. Shift that out the way. Let's bring up Old Faithful. And we're just going to hope for the best. And we're going to chop. Why not? Like I said, it can only go wrong. Or right, you never know. So, done. Not even thinking about it. Okay, so now I need to remember which is which. What I should do now is, I'm going to put this on top, and I'm going to mark where my fold is. So if I do that, and we're going to be going back and forth as we make this up. Where you're making stuff up, you can't like pre-prepare a lot. So here we go. So we've got that sitting there. We're going to No, we don't want that way. We want this way. So 5 and 1, and I've printed this out on heavy cardstock so that it will hold its shape. Right, so we may need this again, who knows. Right, so first thing we're going to do is fold that up. So now we know that's our bottom. As long as we keep the top straight, the bottom straight, we can then centre measure and trim off as needed. So the next thing we need to do is, if we're going to make it the height of this, we need to find out where to trim. So now that we've got that, we need to trim this at that, and because that's going to fit inside there, we're going to trim this at the same height. So we might even try to trim them together. Why not? Let's totally live life dangerously. As long as they're together, they will be the correct height. So here goes total madness. So I've got the one inside the other. The fold up bit is holding them together. I've got our mark on the side and chop. So that's shortened our pocket considerably. But you know what? We will use these scraps for something. Right, put those there. So now we have got this there. This one's a little bit narrower by the look of that, but that's okay. And a little bit shorter, so I kind of cut it very straight. But I think it was based on that side. But so long as they're together when we glue them, that's the main thing. So the first thing we can do is cut that there. That was easy decided. Got this, we've got this, we've got this. Get them the right way up, Paula. Can do this way around. What we need to do now is on this one, we can work out how wide we want it. So if we put this in here, and so if we decide which side we want. Now the grungy side looks cool, but might look better with the narrower side. So we're going in there. We've got our popcorn there. We can take a little bit in. So what I think is if we leave, and that is probably, if we leave like 1/4 of an inch on either side, I mean it's more than maybe no, let's make it 1/8 of an inch. Need to make it therefore 2 5/8 of an inch. We'll just cut one for now and go from there. See, this is me making it up. It could go horribly wrong. The easiest way is to do it on this side, I think. So there, and then because I'm going to use that top line against there. So, and that is there. Looks better. Cut, don't ask questions. So that will now fit into there. What we are now going to have to do is, if we create a flap on one side and on the other side, that will negate the fact that we don't have a join there. So what we need to do is create, so you stay there, so we need to create, if we add in a 1/2 inch, so from there to 1/2 inch, and then there, and we want from there and 1/2 inch. Again, and that sign's going to be way too big. Trimming on that one, and then we are scoring on here. So we're going 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. But so far this is still just retaining the same size. So is that going to fit in there now? So yep, we'll go in there. But so we've got our top width. Top is correct. Let's stick with that. So now we've got this at, we said 2.5. So if we reduce it down to 2, that will just bring it in. Let's take this to the center. Here we go, mathing again. Let's just roll down here. What's the worst that can happen? It could go horribly wrong. Well, let's just give it a go, shall we? Right, 1. Not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So, now, let's just eyeball it. 1. 2. Right, so now, on this line, we go there. 1, and on this line we go there. 2. Alright, so there's our popcorn container. Now what we need to do is get the other 2 bits to fit. Center finder. 2. Now yes, I am probably making this way more complicated than I should be, but that's the way I do it. This pocket keeps getting smaller and smaller. If only it was that easy to get smaller and smaller. Yes, our popcorn fits. What a long and rigmarole process that has been. Excuse me, but we got there. Right. Of course, popcorn doesn't fit across there. So we can soon fix that. We have the technology. We have the smarts. We have the whatever else it is. We can rebuild you. Right. Nothing is impossible. Ta-da! Alright. So, now let us ink together. Right, so, quickly. That should be enough. Okay, so this is going to slide up there, which is not perfect, I know, but we'll have to do, given all the extra fixing we've had to do. Let me just unbury a tissue to clean this. So we are going to glue here and here. And I'm just going to spread that glue about a little bit. Because we want that to stay attached to those two flaps. And now we need to, because I didn't think about it very well, glue this one down here. Alright, so we've glued that down together. So now we are going to glue along here. And that is just going to keep everything inside of there. Alright, so now we fold that down, and that is across there. Make sure it is stuck down very well. And then, if we want, we can just very lightly trim that back one. And so we'll just have to ink them there again. Right. So that's that. So now we can slot 1 and 2 in. we've got sticking problems. Okay, not a problem. We will solve it the quick and easy, down and dirty way. There is always a way of fixing it. There we go. So there is our popcorn. And I'm just lowering the back one a little bit higher, just so that we can see it. And now we have our altered popcorn label. Just want to spread that out a wee bit so that it doesn't go all over my design. And we're going to go, whoops, across a bit. Popcorn. So there we have our little wee popcorn pocket. Where are we going to put it? So we have our incredibly full journal. Take off the alligator clasp. And I want to just put that in there for now, unless I can find somewhere else. I think maybe that one there. Just kind of anchor it in there. I like that. And I'm just going to, now that I've fluffed about with all the pocket, I'm just going to put that, glue it directly onto the page, because I don't want to muck about with it anymore. So we will take those out to make sure I don't stick them down. Actually, I'm going to do it on 3 sides, so that we can have another little pocket . What are you doing? Coming apart there. Did I say you could do that? No, I did not. Right. So there we go. We have, I just want to be careful, I don't want to pull it up. So we have our popcorn there, and we have another pocket on the side, this side here, that we can put something small into. So maybe some of these little wee extra bits I can turn into tags. Why not? So what we want to do is, now it's just this bit here, so if we, I'm just trying to make sure they're both the same size. We trim this across here. There. So we've got 2 tags there, plus we might as well trim this one across there. Turn it over. Leave those ones for now. But that gives us 3 little wee tags. And if we go for this corner chomper with our 1/4 inch, and 1, helps if you actually put the paper in. And there, so we've got 1, 2. Oh, I think I need to actually do some inking around the edges and not just put them in like this. Right, so where are you? There. Because otherwise it just looks too strange. I mean, this is the ideal size for a label, maybe. And these two can be certainly journal cards. So, I mean, the main idea out of this is if you come up with something and you haven't got the exact shape or template or size of pocket or envelope or tuck spot or tag or anything else, don't be afraid to cut something unconventional if it's what is going to fit your journal or your theme of your journal or your particular page, and just give it a go. I mean, worst case scenario, it's only paper. So hopefully this has inspired you to create your little wee popcorn shaker pocket, or maybe a globe pocket, or a teacup pocket, or anything else wild and wonderful. Give it a go, let me know, tag me, remember hashtag Moxy Mojo, all one word, because I'd love to see what you create. And I'll see you again back in the studio. Bye for now.